So you're thinking about moving to Portland, Oregon. Great, good for you. It's an awesome place to live. Obviously, as I sit here in the great outdoors, well, I'm in my RV in the great outdoors, enjoying all that Portland has to offer, I obviously love it here. And I wouldn't change a thing. Now, I've been here for 30 plus years, so I'm practically a Portland native. But yet, there are still some things that I wish I had known before I moved here. So we're going to go over those two here together. Okay, obviously when people think about Portland, Oregon, one of the first things they think about is the weather here, right? We hear about how gray and drizzly it is and how much rain there is all the time. It's unbelievable what you hear about this place. Now, if you look it up online, I think it shows something like 164 days worth of rain. Now, while that is true, there is a lot of rain here. A lot of those days are just kind of drizzly and a little bit wet, not necessarily driving rainstorms. The good news is, like, there's tons and tons of beautiful greenery here because of that weather. Now, I'll be honest though, like, I moved from San Diego, where we get like, I don't know, 4 weeks of clouds a year, to Portland, Oregon, and it took some adjusting, right? There is a truth to be said, and when people talk about getting a little depressed, you know, in the first period of time that you're here, but you quickly get used to it. Now, the good news is, on the other side of it, the summers are beautiful. The summers are nice and warm and beautiful and dry, not super humid like some of the places you might go. So the Portland weather, you pay the price on the rain part, but then you get the greenery and the beautiful. And then obviously, as I sit here in my RV and the great outdoors, one of the things we're going to go doing next is mountain biking. So there's, along with all the greenery and all that stuff, is a bunch of good stuff to do outside. Pacific Northwest is really known for its outdoor adventures. So while it is rainy, a lot of wetness here, obviously there are some good sides to it too. Okay, rolling backwards from our 7 facts you should know about Portland, Oregon, number 6 would be traffic. Here's the thing, it's not great. When I moved here, whatever it was, 30-some years ago, rush hour traffic meant you only did 55 instead of 75, right? Like, that's what traffic was back then. Nowadays, we got real traffic just like any other big metro. In fact, in my opinion, we've got some of the worst traffic. And that comes from the fact that of the Pacific Northwest over the past number of years has been a really popular place to move to. And unfortunately, we just don't have the infrastructure for the number of people that live here, right? So I'll use Highway 217 as an example. That's one of the major thoroughfares to get from one place to another in Portland. It's kind of landlocked, and it's only got 2 lanes. They're trying to widen it, but they just don't have a whole ton of room in order to facilitate a whole lot more traffic. So rush hour traffic here starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and goes till 7, and it's bad. Now, I will say that they're, like I said, they're trying to widen Highway 217. They're trying to do a lot to facilitate the growth that we have here. But unfortunately, Portland Bureau of Transportation is just a little bit underfunded and doesn't have enough land to expand the highway infrastructure too. So, sadly, when you move here, one of the things you're going to have to face is what do we call Portland? One of the biggest small towns in the world, right? I think we have a population here of somewhere in the 2 million range in the Portland and surrounding metros. So there's a lot of people here, a lot of traffic, and sadly, you pay the price when you move here. Let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's food. Now, I say that slightly in jest, but it really is actually one of my favorite subjects. I love the food culture in Portland, Oregon. There's nothing like it. I think one of the other towns I like to go to is Austin, Texas, and the reason I like that is because of the food culture there, and it just so happens that Portland is a sister city to Austin, Texas. And so the food culture here is very similar, and what it's all about is independent, creative food restaurants, as opposed to the big chains. I know that there are some chains here, like I think there's a Chili's and some of the other big chain restaurants, but really, Portlanders like to go to independent food restaurants. There's a Salvador Molly's, which is great, kind of, what they call pirate cooking, and there is the Beaverton Food Trucks, which is a conglomeration of food trucks that actually sits on permanent foundations there in the Beaverton area that serve all kinds of different food. My son, who is a total foodie, he's one of those millennials that just loves food. One of the main reasons he loves living here is because he can go out every evening and have a different experience. The food here is just amazing, and it's one of the main reasons that, like I said, my son loves to live here, and I actually love to live here too, because, you know, sometimes you get tired of eating out at the same old chain restaurants, and here in Portland, you got a different choice everywhere you turn. So if you love food and you're thinking about moving here and you want to go enjoy the Beaverton food trucks, and you want to move here to do it, we would love to help you. My name is Rick Sadle. I've been a real estate agent here for over 20 years. I run one of the top relocation teams, and I would love to help you find your next home. So if you are thinking about moving here, just reach out, phone, text, email. I think the number's going to show up on the screen there. Just give us a call, set up a time to chat, and we can help you get yourself here to Portland. Moving on to fact number 4 that you should know before moving to Portland. One of the biggest things that you should know about Portland is the fact that Portlanders love to shop local. Right? We talked already about restaurants and how independent restaurants are the things that people love here. Well, it's the same with all kinds of shopping here. Local artisans, local grocery stores, local coffee roasters, right? Without fail, Portlanders love to support local businesses. You know, for instance, there's a chain here called New Seasons Groceries, excuse me. That's the place that I like to shop. Now, if I'm totally honest, I do it mostly from Instacart, so I don't know that I'm totally a true Portlander after 30 years. But I do love to support local businesses, and that's kind of the Portland way, right? Portland is, you know, you've heard keep Portland weird, or you've heard how weird Portland can be. Part of it is just we like to be independent. We like to be support local businesses. We like to do things our own way here in Portland. Now, part of the charm, of course we have all the big grocery stores, Safeway and all those things, but I'll be honest, Portlanders in general like to support the more individual type of retailer. So, fact number, what did I say it was? Fact number 4? Fact number 4 is, if you're going to come to Portland, be prepared to shop the Portland way, and that's shop local. Magically now I'm in my office. You probably noticed we're in a different place, and that's because I had to stop everything I was doing, help my wife pack up the RV, and get moving. But now we're going to move on to fact number 3, and that is keep Portland weird. You may have heard that saying, keep Portland weird. It's kind of like the local mantra people chant here. We talked about it earlier when we were talking about shopping local. Portlanders kind of thrive and enjoy this kind of reputation of being a little bit, you know, off, you know, maybe a little bit weird. And the truth is, some things about Portland are still weird. We have a thriving arts district. We have just artisanal, artistic expression is Portland. I don't know if there's anywhere else in the country you might go where there is a naked bike ride. Like, that's a thing that actually happens here in Portland. You know, nowhere else can you go and see someone's naked butt riding down the street on a bike and have it be okay. You know, and the cops have all the roads blocked off, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we've had a ton of growth here, which has gentrified our area, right? It's become much more mainstream than it used to be. When I moved here 30 years ago, it was a lot weirder. But the truth is, Portland is still weird. There are still some things about it that are weird. And we have a reputation on the news of being a little bit weird. And so your thought coming from somewhere else to relocating here to Portland might be that it's pretty weird. And it is just a little bit weird still, and it's kind of part of the charm. So you love to bicycle and you're thinking about coming to Portland. Well, you are in luck. Fact number 2 is Portland is consistently ranks as one of the most bike-friendly cities in the United States. With over 400 miles of biking trails, you can get anywhere you want to go in Portland on a bicycle. And drivers here are actually a little more happy about dealing with bicyclists than they are in other places that I've been. I'm kind of a bike nut. I love to mountain bike, I love to road bike, I love to do all those things, bicycle. And Portland has all of those things. We're less than 40 minutes from some of my favorite mountain biking trails. We're less than an hour and 15 minutes from Mount Hood to go mountain biking up there. So mountain biking's big here, but bicycle commuting in and around Portland is just a thing that people do, rain or shine. Like, we have a ton of rain, we talked about that already, but people still like to ride their bikes in the rain, get to work. So bicycling here in Portland is a really big deal. And, you know, we already talked about the naked bike ride, apparently. That's a thing too. But anyways, we really love to bike here in Portland, and if you like to bicycle, this is probably one of the best places for you to come. Fact number 1, fact number one is you can finally pump your own gas in Portland. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but for a lot of years it was against the law to pump your own gas in Portland, Oregon, or in Oregon in general. And when I moved here, it kind of freaked me out. I moved here from California, and I would pull up to the gas station and jump out of my car and go and put the pump into the tank and get accosted by the gas station attendant who told me, no, you can't do that. As a matter of fact, for a number of years after I got here, I had a hard time breaking the habit of jumping out of my car. Then it became a habit to not pump my own gas and sit and wait for the gas station attendant, which can be pretty frustrating. Honestly, if you're in a hurry and you pull up to a gas station, for those of you who don't live here, you're used to pumping your own gas probably. If you're from California or a different state, you're used to pumping your own gas. And when you jump out of your car and get told you can't pump your own gas and you have to sit there and wait for the gas station attendant to finish with 3 other cars or 10 other cars if it's a busy gas station, it can be pretty frustrating. Now, the reverse happened where I got out of the habit of being able to pump my own gas, and when I would go to a different state, I would go visit California or Los Angeles where we have some relatives, and I would sit there and wait for someone to come pump my own gas, and it wouldn't happen. As a matter of fact, my daughter, who's 22 years old and has only lived in Portland, finally moved out of the state to go to college and didn't know how to pump her own gas. She actually had to get a gas station attendant to come show her how to pump her own gas. So, luckily now you can do it. You can pump your own gas here in Portland, Oregon, but for a long time you couldn't. So fact number 1 is you can pump your own gas. Yay! Okay, now if you have decided you want to move to Portland, Oregon, you love the idea of coming here and pumping your own gas and riding bicycles, etc., etc. I hope you've enjoyed these 7 things you need to know before you move to Portland, Oregon. And if you do decide to move here, my team and I would love to help you. We're the #1 relocation team here in the area, so give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you find your next home.